Ooh.
Oh, you took over the. Oh. Wait, got a new share.
Did you? Yeah. Oh, this is nice. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Boom.
Presentations, recognitions, mariachi. There's Cito's proclamation declaring. Oh, I didn't even know that was on there.
I'm with you.
Just tell me the chart.
Yeah.
She said, "Mr. Peacock, to you, Chris."
Talking about right now.
Ready?
Let's do this.
Ready? John.
All ready?
Yes, I can. Okay. Good evening. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Regular meeting. First thing is items roll call. Mr. Chris, can you?
Yes. President Tony Barco,
Here.
Vice President Robert Smuller, Trustee Juan Jose Ibarra,
Yep.
Trustee Bobby Peacock,
Here.
Trustee Rolando Lozano,
Here.
Trustee Fernando Torres,
Here.
Secretary Christopher Morales here. Board President, we have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Smalsbury, can we lead us in Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Peacock, can you lead us in the invocation, please?
It's too big, not this one. Defer to Ms. Rocha.
Mr. Lozano.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to be here with you today. We ask for your guidance in the decisions we're making for our school district, our children, and our employees, dear Heavenly Father. May they be your decisions. May they be the best decisions for our school district and our staff. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Yeah, they went right for the throat on that one. Damn.
All right. Right for the throat on that.
Item number 3, comments from the public. Do we have any? Thank you. Item 4, recognitions. A, Mariachi Juvenil Azteca State Champions. Mrs. Rocha.
Mrs. Rocha will do the introduction of our mariachi.
Okay.
As we're preparing, very briefly, if you don't mind, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
You all may have already heard, our Mariachi Juvenil Azteca won the state championship in 5A with the Texas Association of Music Educators this past, I think it was back in March. We, as you know, we've been recognizing all of their talents, and they've been going out and performing all over the valley, quite frankly, all the way down to Brownsville and San Antonio. As a matter of fact, yesterday we were at SDC. They had a chance to perform at SDC for the Distinguished Scholar Banquet. And so y'all are going to have a chance to listen to them today. We want to thank them for all their hard work. We want to thank their directors. They've done an outstanding job. I think they deserve a lot of credit. And that, of course, is why we were awarded this state championship. So congratulate them. And Mrs. Rocha, you want to ask them to come on?
Yes, they're going to play for us first, and we'll
Oh, they got the little plates, right?
Oh, they came in. That looks awesome.
Thank you, Board of Trustees, for having us. We've had a wonderful year, and like I preach all year long, it's not just the directors, not just the students, it's the community, it's the support from up top that we get, and we can't do anything that we've done this year with everything that you've done to support us. So thank you for all the amazing support, and we came to play up in front and close with you guys, so you can hear them up close and get a taste of the show that we did this year.
Up close.
That pushed over the edge, and we were finally able to bring home that state championship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real quick, can y'all just start off, like, and then y'all, if y'all can turn around and play for the public as well.
For the people.
So that- yeah.
Would you want some here?
Yeah, that's fine. Sure, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's good.
Sorry, guys. I just didn't want to.
What?
job, guys. Good job. Hey, real quick, I want to thank the parents because I know they're out significantly, and I just want to thank y'all for allowing your children to participate in the Edcouch-Elsa Mariachi. It's an awesome program. I want to thank the directors and the students themselves because they put a lot of time and effort into
So just before, we were going over new parts and revoicing, and they all did a wonderful job to pick up the slack. So we're missing Natanya, 18 strong, and we brought both guitarrones because actually for the performance at state, our 8th grader here stepped in and stepped up. Thank you once again, board and the community. Can't thank you enough for the support. We hope to see you out on the 24th. That's our concert. Come out and enjoy the full show. Now we have to charge you right now.
Are we sitting? What are we doing? Oh, okay. Are we going down?
The Rocha. We need to go down and we gotta give them.
Looks fancy today. Rolling.
There's my mariachi. I know my mariachi are coming.
Shit about my new suit.
Yeah, for little Alex. The mariachi was really good. Oh, yeah?
I've been carrying this all week.
I'll go over right now. No.
This is the first time the morning to go over the first ones they got. Now we're supposed to every time they travel in, they were getting. And they got a little mini billboard. They were all
Yeah.
Oh, we're waiting. Can I say something about this? The billboard company gave us this, and it's very, I gave it to the kids this afternoon, and they were all taking pictures, and they say, Ms. Rocha, can we have one? But it's a first, because first state champion mariachi, and this was our first billboard, and many to come that we're going to be doing. But I don't know, we'll ask the company and see if we can get this, because they were all taking pictures, okay?
We made a state championship ring.
Make sure we have one of those for the stadium on both sides, the football stadium.
Yeah,
People
okay.
are walking into the football field.
We'll get it. And just to say a little bit about it, they got a very special pen. This pen is the first time ever given to students. We gave it to our board of trustees and Mr. Gavazos, but this is a very special pen. If I may just take a minute, we're very proud to be Yellow Jackets. They always get that gold yellow jacket. They all fight. They all, if I don't give it to them, they're like, Ms. Rocha, we haven't gotten our pens. But because the Yellow Jacket is a very special, we believe, right? We believe. And this one's very special because it says Edcouch-Elsa is known for pride and tradition. There's a lot of tradition. You know, their brothers and sisters will probably one day step up to do what you've done. And pride, they wear the Yellow Jackets, and then pride that we belong to the best school district ever, Edcouch-Elsa. So very special. You're the first ones that ever get this. So we ordered some more for all the other students that are going to be doing real good. So this is, you're the first one. First billboard, first state, and first this. So this is my
Go here, guys. Ready? 1, 2, and ready? 1, 2, and
Oh, they have a person. Tony?
you want to read the item?
Yeah, and I'm-
Proclamation.
They have a question for us. What question? When, you want to have, we know the ring's coming.
Right now, I'm looking at the very end of June, early part of July.
It's gonna be a lot of get them to you and stuff. We'll get them, we'll get them.
There's going to be a ring ceremony.
They'll probably end up
For
performing.
the sprinkling, the seniors, you might have to put your uniform back on.
Item B, City of Elsa proclamation regarding the Mariachi Juvenil Azteca. Ms. Rocha?
We have newly appointed, for those that don't know, we have a newly appointed mayor. City council.
Ms. Rocha has been appointed to the city commission of the city of Elsa, so she's now Commissioner Francis Rocha.
One of our first assignments as the commissioners is to read the
Well, I'll do it with a lot of pride. And we have on the city of Elsa, Mr. Johnny Barra, and one of the things that I say, when I go out of Elsa and people don't know me, and they ask me, where are you from? And I probably stand, I might not be tall, but I stand up real high, and I say, I'm from Elsa, Texas. So, they go with a lot of pride. And I work for the best school district.
There you go.
Edcouch-Elsa. Okay, the city of Elsa proclamation. I'll go back right now. Whereas the Edcouch-Elsa High School 2018 Mariachi Juvenil Azteca has earned a superior rating as an outstanding performer, and whereas the Edcouch-Elsa High School 2018 Mariachi Juvenil Azteca was awarded the coveted title of Mariachi State Champions for the 5A division by TAME, Texas Association of Mariachi Educators, and whereas the Edcouch-Elsa High School Mariachi Juvenil Azteca, that's all of you, were hence invited to perform at the National School Board Association Annual Conference held in San Antonio, Texas on April the 6th, 2018. Whereas the City of Elsa would like to recognize individually the instructors, Mr. Marcos Garcia, Mr. Mario Farah, and Mr. Michael, did I say Michael? And whereas the city of Elsa would like to individually recognize the talented students, and all the students' names are listed here. And now where we, by the virtue of authority vested in us, I hereby proclaim May, the 5th of May, as the Edcouch-Elsa High School Mariachi Azteca Juvenil. And it's signed, whereas thereof, we hands-on set our hand this, the 17th day of April 2018. And before they came in, we were asking what day was it, and they all remembered, okay? Because they looked at their messages.
All right, ready? 1, 2, and...
Thank you, guys. Thank y'all.
Next item C is national nursing weekly stuff.
We have our nurses here. We're going to call them up. But we want to start with when we call your name, you come up and then please wait for us. And we want to say something about the nurses. I know that our nurses are very, very special because when I was a school principal, my nurse shadow would say, Miss Rocha, they're not even sick and they want to come and see me. And I tell them, that's okay, I was buying the Band-Aids of Mickey Mouse and whatever. I said, there's a need to feel love and nurtured, and when they go to the nurses one-to-one, the nursing department is a very special department in our district, like all the departments. So about 2 weeks ago was a Nurses Appreciation Week, so we honored all our nurses in our district. And we salute you and thank you for the wonderful work that you do. And the nursing, the medical field is one that is very special, and more in the school district, we need more help because our children are coming with so many needs. So thank you.
In recognition of your outstanding services to the EIZ nursing program, we present to Juanita Molina the certificate of appreciation.
She's going to take a picture for us. They're wearing their beautiful shirts. On behalf of all of us, they got the shirts.
Certificate of appreciation presented to Mary Lou Daza. Recognition of your outstanding service.
Over here we go.
Certificate of appreciation presented to Alicia Guerra.
Right, Ms. Guerra.
Certificate of appreciation presented to Terry Salinas in recognition of your outstanding service to the EIZ.
Our next
15 in recognition of your outstanding service to the Edcouch-Elsa ISD nursing program. In recognition of your outstanding service to the EIS nursing program, this is a certificate of appreciation to Audrey Delgado.
She's gonna call out the ones that are not here. I just want to take this time to say how proud I am to work with this group of girls. They're the most compassionate, caring group of nurses I've ever worked with. They go beyond and above for the staff and for the kids, and I'm very, very proud of them. And today, Kimberly Vallejo, she could not be here, so we're recognizing her. Jenny Garcia. Julie Cantu. Isabel Marisca. And Lorena Vicente. I also want to thank Ms. Edcouch-Elsa for being there for us and always answering our questions. So we're lucky to have her, and but thank you, Sandy.
You all want to come in? When they're with the children, they're shy today. And you can open up your.
Okay, ready? One, and
Thank you all.
Next item is item D, Transportation Department.
Okay, I'll start off here. In recognition of your outstanding services to the Edcouch-Elsa Independent School District, the Transportation Department, we recognize Director Martin Rodriguez.
I'd like to take a few minutes so that I can go ahead and thank my staff, first of all, for being here. I asked you all to come in and be recognized. Thank you very much. My department does not run, I do not run my department by myself. It's a team effort. Everybody pulling the same way and trying to transport our students in the safest possible way. I want to also thank our board, who have always been very, very supportive of the transportation department. They've always been there for us, and I want to thank each and every one of them. Thank you.
This certificate of appreciation is presented to Odelia Ayala in recognition for your outstanding service to the Edcouch-Elsa Independent School District Transportation.
Isabella Redondo in recognition of your outstanding.
Wherever you want.
This certificate of appreciation is presented to Matias Ayala in recognition of outstanding service to the
Certificate is presented to Edcouch-Elsa, for his outstanding service to the Edcouch-Elsa Transportation Department.
The certificate of appreciation presented to Maria Jesucita Cabrera.
The certificate of appreciation presented to Francisco Alegría.
Before I just want to say about the transportation department. I've been here going on my second year already, and I can say that we've actually brought your department in to recognize you all. And we had been talking about it, us seven, and say we need to recognize the people that our children, students see in the morning and in the afternoon. They're the first ones they see and the last one they see, representing Edcouch-Elsa ISD. And it's a big honor to sit here and give you this for us, because we know what you all go through day in and day out, the worry about making sure our children get home safe. And it's, I'm sure it's stressful, because you have kids in the bus and they're getting around, and you want to make sure that you get home safe just like the way you pick them up. And not only that, the football games, the baseball games, the away games, having to take our kids back and forth day and night, bringing them back. We're playing San Antonio, bringing them back safely. It's a lot, and we just want to make sure that you all don't go unrecognized. So it's an honor for us here to present this to you guys. I just wanted to say that. In recognition of your outstanding service to the EIZ Transportation Department, we present this certificate of appreciation to Paula Lugo Alfaro. I see you all on the bus every day, and I don't know you all.
Ms. Alfaro is about 2 semesters short of becoming a school teacher. And she's a proud parent at SGD.
Take care of our own too.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Certificate of appreciation presented to Ofelia Garza in recognition of your outstanding services.
next certificate is appreciation is presented to Sonia S. Castillo for her outstanding service.
Ms. Castillo is a CDL driver, plus she's my transportation secretary. She takes care of all the field trips and all that needs to be done. Awesome.
Very good.
Before the next, I'm about to say this, all I know what I need to say.
Yes, it's been
The medical, his father and my father were twins. So, we're like brothers, okay?
The certificate of appreciation is presented to Delia Cisneros.
Okay, the certificate of appreciation goes to Javier de la Cruz.
This certificate of appreciation is presented to Emilia Garcia in recognition of her outstanding
In recognition of your outstanding service to the EIT Transportation Department, we give this certificate of appreciation to Oscar Sandoval.
Certificate of appreciation presented to Marta Rosales in recognition of certificate of appreciation presented to Rosalinda Garza.
The next certificate of appreciation is presented to Mercedes Sanchez.
The next certificate of appreciation is presented to Berta Trevino.
Okay, the next certificate of appreciation is presented to Rogelio Suarez.
This certificate of appreciation is presented to Mirta and Trevino in recognition of her certificate of appreciation presented to Juan and Luisa.
Certificate of appreciation presented to Juan Martinez.
Bájale, Juanito. Arnoldo Ibarra.
In recognition of your outstanding service to the EIC Transportation Department, this certificate of appreciation is presented to Maria Guadalupe Vergara.
The next certificate of appreciation is presented to Joe P. Martinez.
And the next certificate of appreciation is presented to Rodolfo Palacio.
Thank you, Mr. Palacios is an ex-teacher from Edinburgh High School. He retired from teaching, and I invited him to come and really enjoy to see the kids in transportation, a different life.
And I got here as fast as I could.
We also want to say that we're going to buy you a shirt for each one of you. We don't have it today, but we will.
Thank you, sir. I can't bring it away.
Alíñense atrás. Vente, hermano. Frankie, ven.
You need to hydrate.
That's
right.
Qué bonito, ¿verdad?
Yes, ma'am. Ready? 1, 2, and one more. Ready? 1, 2, and.
Lord Jesus.
The activity bus is already done. They're putting the cameras, and we should probably have it by Monday.
Good. Awesome. Cool beans. Thank you. Sir?
What's a hand sanitizer? Hand sanitizer.
Thank you all.
You're gonna play volleyball with us.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
In the city?
No, it's a school.
Okay.
The schools play against each other, and the board's gonna do its own team. Right, Willie? You're gonna play volleyball?
Tear it up.
What's the name of our team, Willie?
Lama Lama Ding Dong.
Slamma Lamma Ding Dongs.
Not that bad. Make some shirts. Are you gonna wrap around?
Wrap around.
Ready? Yes, sir.
Item 5, the superintendent's report. A, attendance report, Mr. Cavazos.
Yes, sir. On item 5 for attendance report, the report is there in the folder, in the middle of the folder, if you don't mind, you can look at that. As of yesterday, we were 90 below where we were last year at this point. The attendance report goes to the review.
Safe to say that in May, they're not coming back, right?
We're trying to do it.
Any questions or comments? This item.
I know that we have registration for pre-K coming up. I know that we had early registration for the high school, junior high, I believe, already done, and through on, right? So pre-K, how is that coming about?
I'll ask Norma to comment, because she doesn't know.
We started pre-K registration this week. We're having it all day, Friday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, practice right after this one.
Okay.
Yes. Yesterday, we didn't have a big turnout today. We had our community aid and our community aid, she went out into town and they set out fires and things like that. They were even giving out fire kits, Walmart, and they left it up to date in the post office. We also promoted it with our, on our website and on the billboard here. So.
Okay. I know that, I don't know, do we have online registration even for the pre-K, or is it just?
It's only for high school.
Only for the high school.
We're gonna add, well, they said they were gonna add the elementaries next year.
Till next year. So they still have to come and do the.
Yes, because
the
we're
paper.
starting the whole process.
Now, do we have staff available to do, to help the parents with registration on campus if they were to come in?
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is so that we can promote to where our parents come in and maybe offer some type of incentive to have them come in. The thing is that if we don't do this now, if we wait till the beginning of the school year, there's someone else who's going to be also trying to get them to register somewhere else. And we already have them in our facility, so what we need to do is keep them. And what we don't want is for the summer to, and we only have 10, well, here we have what, another, 15 days. So we want to make sure we use those 15 days to our advantage. But before those 15 days go up or go off, we need to do this in the elementaries as well, is get our teachers to start calling and maybe do a little competition with staff members to try and get as many class, by percentages, see how many of them can get 100% to be enrolled for next year, so that everybody is back on for next year from what we have. The trick or the goal here is to get everybody back again. Because these numbers, 90 students off is going to really cost us. And what we want to do is get a projected number of what we're going to be looking at for next year. And once they commit that we're coming back next year, then we have a better chance of keeping them. But we can't stay stagnant and say, no, we're not going to do nothing. We're just going to wait till next year, see what comes up. No, we need to start right now. And this afternoon we're driving home, and we passed right by the old HEB. And my wife asked me, she says, why is that bus there? And I told her, I said, they don't pick up kids at their homes. They have to come and drop them off there. They only give you a centralized area where they pick up and drop off kids. So we have the luxury, and I know that our bus drivers just left, but we go to their front door and pick them up. So that's one of our plus for our, and we need to make sure we sell these things.
Another thing is idea, schools, there are buses that go and pick up the students do not have air conditioning. They have the windows rolled down, and all our school buses have air conditioning.
They also don't have cameras.
No, they don't have cameras, obviously. We saw it.
So this is something that we can talk to our parents about, so that they don't get brainwashed and start getting talked into wanting to switch anywhere else. We've got to sell our product, and there's competition out there. So we want to take care of all of our employees, and it starts off with everyone already working in the district. So it has to be a 100% effort from everyone, starting with our custodians, our cafeteria people, our bus drivers. So even our bus drivers, Mr.
Yes, sir.
As they're picking up the kids, if they see parents at the bus stops, to tell them, hey, you know what? We need to get our kids back, so make sure you go by the school district, the campuses, and register. But we need to be readily available for them. We can't be turning our parents down if they want to come by and register. Right now, it's a must. We need to register anybody who wants to come in. So we need to assign some individuals who can help them out, fill out whatever paperwork needs to get filled out, and pick up those registrations, okay? So we need to make sure we get that.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
No, sir.
If not, we'll go to item B, update on RFQ for annual financial auditor for the 2018-2019 school year. Ms. Garza?
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Board. Just to give you an update, we've started our advertisement for the external auditor.
Okay.
We started this past Sunday was our first advertisement. We'll have a second advertisement this coming Sunday. And the bid specs will be, the deadline for them will be May the 29th. I have a handout there so you can see. Just to keep you updated on that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? If not, item C is update on RFP for voluntary products for the 2018-2019 school year. Mr. Garza, Roger Garza.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Board President and Mr. Cavazos, Superintendent Cavazos, and board members. We were asked to give you an update on the RFP 2018-004 for voluntary products that we're soliciting. We did post a RFP in the newspaper on May the 1st.
Okay.
We are going to open bids on June the 5th at 2 o'clock. But I did want to share with you that we've gotten 18 inquiries regarding this RFP from 14 different vendors. So we're anticipating to have approximately about 56 proposals that'll be coming to the district on June the 5th.
Good mix.
Yes, sir. It's a big mix of different vendors from across the country. I think the furthest one we've gotten is from New Jersey. We've gotten one from Ohio. So we've gotten some vendors from way up north in the United States, big part of the United States. But we're anticipating we're going to have probably about no less than 60 proposals before you that we're going to have to decide on or evaluate for you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Garza.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening.
Item 6, consent agenda items. I'm going to ask that we do not take action on item K. They did not submit
Division.
the MOU to our office.
401.
Any questions on any of the items?
I have a question just on item C, one of the items, just page 7.
Okay.
I
Yes.
have, there's some furniture, just wanted to see that there was a furniture for an amount of $35,000. I just wanted to see where that furniture went.
That was for our cafeteria.
Cafeteria? Which, the high school? Will we replace it or?
Currently, excuse me, first for the high school cafeteria, when we changed the enrollment, we had less tables, we were using just folding tables. We ordered some new tables for the cafeteria, so students have somewhere to sit, and some new chairs as well.
Okay. And it's the north campus or the south?
It's in the north campus.
North campus, okay.
And that furniture is already in place. So it's-
All right, that's the only.
Okay, anybody else? Any questions? Mr. Torres?
Was that a budgeted item or was that just a one-time hit? Did we have budget, were we budgeted for that?
We were not budgeted for it.
Okay,
but
so
we
it
had
was
funds
one-time
to
expense.
cover it.
All right.
Okay.
But we made an amendment to that, correct? There's going to be an amendment.
Yeah, has to be.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, we have to. Okay.
Anybody else? No? I make a motion to approve all consent agenda items with the exception of K.
Okay. Second. Motion has been made and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion carries. Item 7, discussion and presentation items. A, Region 1 Sub-Hub presentation. Mr. Gonzalez, Virgil.
I got it, bro.
Good evening.
Board members.
Take care of it.
Today I have Dolores Hernandez from Region 1 that's going to do a short presentation on the Sub-Hub. Real quick slides on what they do for us to provide quality substitutes for our district.
You feel it? I got you, bro.
Good evening, Mr. Cavazos, Mr. Barco, members of the board. I am Dolores Hernandez. I'm the director with Sub-Hub with Region 1 ESC. It is my pleasure to stand here before you once again this year to talk a little bit about where you are as a district regarding temporary teacher services, and of course to ask for consideration for partnership for the 18-19 school year. I do have some information to share with you. Throughout the school year, we do provide information to the districts. In addition to that, the campus users, meaning the administration, the principals do have access to several reports regarding substitute teaching services. So with that in mind, just to recap of the benefits to you as a district, all of the payroll costs associated with substitute teaching, all of the reporting, the hiring, the recruiting, the performance concerns, all of that goes away from the district. So Mr. Gonzalez and his staff in human resources and of course the payroll office no longer have those types of duties. We handle each and everything having to do with substitute teacher services. We continue to work on improving efficiencies for your district. Edcouch-Elsa ISD is one of the first districts that we are working with automation. What we're trying to do at this point is have our absence management system speak to the Texas system, so that, for example, HR has a new employee and they put them into their Texas system. They don't have to reach out to us to let us know specifically that there's a new employee. During the evening hours, automatically it would automate and populate a profile in our system so that it would push out a welcome letter. So timeliness is something we're working on, and our IT department is working with me and with the company and of course with the HR staff to ensure that we try to get that ready for you all for the 18-19 school year. In addition to that, this is just a snapshot of the absence data. We do provide reports, as I mentioned, and so this one specifically are absence reasons according to the number of absences according to the reasons. So the principals and of course the HR office superintendent are able to see what are the most common absence reasons that the teachers are using so that they could try to make recommendations. So as an example with professional development, if they see that there's an excessive amount of PD, what can be done to curtail that? Maybe something having to do in-house versus going out, having, maybe teachers go out, secure some of the PD, and then bring it back to the campus as well. So that is one of the reports we provide. In addition to that, this is the same data, except this one is broken up by day of the week. So it allows the administrator to to take a view as what is the most common days where we have the high absenteeism. Clearly, we know that's Mondays, especially Fridays. So we at Region 1 also are working on trying to work with our curriculum department to try to offset some of the Friday sessions so that they don't hit all districts all at once. And so we want to make sure that we continue to work with you all to provide the best services possible. In addition to that, this is information. I only took February through April as a snapshot, but what this graph shows basically is on the left, you have the lead time. So what it's saying here is that 48% of the time, your teachers are putting absences in the system at least 2 days in advance. So the earlier they place absences in the system, the better off it's going to be that substitute temporary teachers are able to pick those up. On the right side, what you see here is the data indicates that when they put the absences in, 69% of the time the absences are filled within 1 hour. So the temporary teachers are actively seeking jobs. Again, they have the option of traveling into 15 school districts that we service, but clearly you're going to see some data that I think you're going to be very happy about in a few minutes. But again, within the first hour, 69% are taken. In addition to that, what does your district look like? Right now, there are 338 temporary teachers that wish to work here in Edcouch-Elsa. And the breakdown is there for you. 113 of those are non-degreed. I'm proud to say that 165 of those are degreed, and we have 60 that are degreed and certified. All of these individuals tag themselves to your district. So they want to work at either all campuses or specifically one campus. But what I've seen the trend is that the majority of the temporary teachers that want to come here are willing and able to service any campus within your district. In addition to that, we have 419 employees that utilize our system. That means that when they're out, they put absences in the system, so we're able to capture that absence data to give you the reports that are needed for the district. I do want to point out that I mentioned the 338. Sub-Hub has currently 1,129 temporary teachers that work for us. So when you do the math, you're looking at approximately almost a third of them that are wanting to come work here. So that speaks a lot. I always indicate, I take it as an indicator, and it's nothing formal, but to me, when a temporary teacher wishes to work in a district and they're repeaters, they want to keep coming back, it's a true testimony also to the support that they receive. And I want to take this time to acknowledge our principals, because the principals clearly are the ones that reach out to me and let me know, Ms. Hernandez, there's a performance concern, there's an issue. But when a temporary teacher feels supported, they want to keep coming back. So thank you so much, principals, for all that you do. I do want to point out, I have been a campus principal before, and so I know specifically what they go through on every single day, especially if they're short substitutes. I remember those days. This is historical data for Sub-Hub. We've been in existence for 4 years. Of those 4 years, I'm proud to say that Edcouch-Elsa has been a partner for 3 of those 4 years. But when we first started with Sub-Hub, the first full academic year, we were at 88% fill rate. And we are now at 94%, which means of the 15 school districts that we service, 9.4% of the time there is a substitute temporary teacher in the classroom covering, continuing the teaching. Our temporary teachers clearly are not babysitters, and we push that on them, and we support them, and we mention it, and we train them, because they have to continue the teaching and the learning, because ultimately it's all about accountability. The state is holding the superintendent accountable, the board is holding the superintendent accountable, but we also hold our temporary teachers accountable to continue to work and service the children of EEISD. So with that said, this is information relative to your district. When we first got started, our first year of full partnership with you all, at the end of the year, we were at 93% fill rate. I'm proud to tell you that as of the end of April, we were at 97% fill rate for Edcouch-Elsa ISD. So the numbers are there, the data is there, temporary teachers want to come here. We have individuals that will drive from the La Jolla area to Edcouch-Elsa to provide services. Part of that could be they have family in the area, again, the support. It could be the pay rates that, through our partnership that you all have. But needless to say, again, thank you so much for, for ensuring that we continue to partner with you to provide, again, services for your students. In addition to that, I mentioned we have been partners for 3 years, and this was just a picture I took. I've been coming by this year and last year. We delivered anniversary cakes to our offices, just as a little thank you again to acknowledge the partnerships that we have. And then finally, I want to end with, we are working towards the same goal. As I mentioned before, I've been an HR administrator, I've been a principal before, so I understand, I have a wealth of knowledge, pretty much in various areas. And the reason I share that with you is because when I put on my hat as a director of SubHub. I look at the curriculum side, I also look at the staffing side, and we want to ensure that the students of EEISDs, as an example, the students that stood here before you, that they're the most precious gift that we have, and so we have to continue to support them, the parents, the teachers, the educators, and of course the administration, because the cliche is it takes a village to raise a child. It truly does take all of us to raise a child. I come from a district, and I won't name my district, but I come from a district that we are black and gold. Black and gold is true and firm and strong, and so it makes me proud to know that, you know, what my roots come from the black and gold world, and I'll tell you briefly, Brahma country. But Edcouch-Elsa Yellow Jackets, you know, great accolades to the work that you all do, and congratulations. And I do want to also mention and acknowledge again the staff in HR, Ms. Castro and also Ms. Flores, and of course Mr. Gonzalez. They do a great job of keeping in communication with us regarding any type of concerns, issues, questions that they have. So with consideration, we'd like to continue partnering with you, clearly. But again, I want to thank you for your time. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Questions?
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you so much for your
very
time.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, if you don't mind, I do want to add, I don't want to put Mr. Gonzalez on the spot, so I'll go ahead and bring it up. I did want to say that we are looking at expanding SubHub services for next year to include employee absence reporting, and they have been very kind in working with us on the price for next year. So that's going to be an additional service for SubHub. So when we have an employee that is not going to be here to work, they would actually submit their absence through SubHub, and we would use that to track absences.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item B, presentation on Truan Junior High cafeteria improvements.
Mr. President, I've asked Mr. Romero to come before you to talk to you, or really just to present to you a plan that we have for Truan Junior High. We are looking at trying to renovate the cafeteria to make it a little more inviting, and I asked him to give you all a copy of some diagrams and pictures so he can explain to you what the program or project is going to look like.
Good evening, Board President, Board members, Mr. Cavazos. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to present. I'm also going to pass on. We only have one color board, but y'all can kind of see the colors and some of the things we want to do for the new STEM Academy there at Truan Middle School. And we've been doing this in partnership with Dr. Rios as well. He's also been with us throughout the meetings. We're just trying to transform the campus into a different look and a more STEM Academy. And so we're just going to show you two pictures on the presentation, and then as well, like I said, if you have those items in front of you. That would be the wall that's facing towards as you walk into the cafeteria. Right here to the left, if you're walking inside from the hallway to the left, that would be the left side of the cafeteria. So, and here you would see that this is kind of be the seating arrangement booth. There's going to be some tables, some booths, and some tables that we're going to set up that look very college type, very college type.
What is it? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
These are some of the furniture that we're going to be on, the booths, the chairs. The tables on the right, top right, those are going to be around the poles. So students can also have an area to put their food, that they can grab their food and sit down there as well. And the chairs and tables, there's going to be different types. There's going to be oblong, there's going to be long chairs, tables. So there'll be a variety of tables as well. And right there, we're going to also install a little coffee shop on the right-hand side. We're going to sell coffee and some other items there for the STEM Academy.
Hey, bunch of junior high kids on coffee? That'd be fun! That should be interesting.
Yeah, these are all some of the drawings that we have. I'm going to let Mr. Ruben Peña is from EduSource. He's the one who's helping us do all this. And he also has done other districts down here in the Rio Grande Valley. We've had some good references from him as well. He's also on the buy board. So he's going to talk a little bit about how these designs are going to be set up on the walls.
Perfect. Okay.
Thank you. So if you look at some of the elements, scroll down the other way just a little bit. Get back up. The common wall, like Mr. Romero was talking about, where the Edcouch-Elsa, the yellow jacket, right there, and the hive, or at the honeycomb, is actually acoustical panels. And so they will muffle out some of the noise that I was in there visiting with Dr. Rios during the lunch service, and it gets pretty loud. So that actually has some functionality as well as some character, and it represents the school and the child nutrition program. You can scroll. The elements, the art elements, again, that contribute to the, as Mr. Romero was saying, the look and feel for a STEM academy, and kind of the designs that Dr. Rios presented to me and what he wanted to see. We had an idea that maybe instead of the pi, we would do the E squared. We can always change it. We can always do something like that to make it look really well. This is going to be on the wall opposite of the common wall, which the common wall divides the serving counter, kitchen, and the dining room. This is actually more of the school. This piece here, the Carlos F. Turan STEM Academy, is a multi-layered piece. Some of you all can see a bit closer. It's going to have some depth to it. It's going to have dimension to it. It's not just a flat sign. It's going to pop really, really well and focus on the name of the school. These elements here, you saw one of the black elements on the walls. Currently, the walls get scuffed really bad. According to Dr. Rios, they paint them every single year. This material is a wainscot material. It will be permanently adhered to the wall, as well as the layout of the furniture. The way we set it up was so that the pathway would be away from the wall, so you'll never have to paint that wall ever again. The sign there hanging from the poles on the columns, there's 4 columns. We're going to utilize 2 columns as tables, and then wrap each column with a True-On STEM signage as well. There's a projector in the drop-down projector that comes down from the ceiling. That will be wrapped with decor as well. So you can see here are the elevations. So as you're looking at the common wall, you're looking at the acoustical panels, the informational board to the left, the drip drop coffee snack bar on the right, and then the walls that are opposite each other, elevations B and C, will have the wainscot material running all the way across, and then the art elements going up over the top.
I've got a quick question. Do you have numbers associated with this, the cost of all these decorations?
Yes, we do. Again, we're going through the bid process and all that information. Again, we're also gonna ask the board for your guidance on that. We can go, right now, it's about 220 high end.
$220,000.
$220,000 high end
Okay.
to retransform that whole cafeteria with all these new items.
Because we're not adding any structure, we're just adding wallpaper.
And furniture.
And furniture.
And furniture.
Right? I guess a breakdown would be good to see how much of it is furniture, and the life expectancy of these items that we're going to be putting on the wall. A serious breakdown, cost by cost, wall by wall, item by item. And if there's any other options that we can do, because $200,000, that's a lot of money, guys.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm pretty sure we spent a lot less than that in furnishing other school buildings. So let's
Yes,
make
sir.
sure it's a real detailed breakdown.
Yeah, but you want to change.
Yeah, we want the change.
Yeah,
but
no,
we're
we
gonna-
want the change.
We want change, but we got to make sure that it's,
Yes, sir. Like I said, we have different options. We can go through the buy board with their buy board number. We can go through South Texas Region 1 Co-op. There's a lot of ways we
yeah.
can go.
And I guess
about
that's the
it.
important part, is that when you come to us with a cost, make sure that it's been dissected enough to that we don't have to ask you to go back and do it again.
Yeah.
Make sure that everything's there that when it gets presented to us.
Yes, sir.
Like, it is beautiful. I mean,
Yeah,
it's really,
that's why
really
we
nice.
kind of give you the presentation. This is the beginning of the process that we're going to start.
Perfect.
And it goes in the direction of the one.
Of the campus,
long-term
yeah.
academy, it's tying it all in here. So I like it. I like it. It looks really nice. And I saw it with the flyer. Really, really good stuff. Really nice.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. You'll have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank you also on all the work. I haven't seen it on social media, the food spices and all that stuff, and the barbecue you had today at RCR. Really good. I
I can see it. Thank you very much. We greatly
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Appreciate you all so much for your
Yes,
support
sir.
as well.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Item C, discussion and action to approve central office summer schedule.
Yes, sir. Mr. President, we're just providing to the board an outline or proposal for a modified summer work schedule that would allow for 4 days, Monday through Thursday during the summer, starting on June 11th and ending on August the 9th. The hours will start at 7 a.m. and go to 5:30 with a 30-minute break.
So move.
Motion has been made and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against, motion carries. Item 8, discussion and action items. A, discussion and approval of the contract with construction manager at risk for the Ag Farm project. Mr. Sergio?
Good evening, Board President, members of the board,
Good evening.
Mr. Cavazos. So last week, we received 5 respondents to the request for qualifications for the Ag building, and our building committee got together on Friday and ranked all 5 of them, and the top offer was Sines Brothers. So we're here with the recommendation to continue to the next phase for a contract and negotiate that with Sines Brothers.
You weren't able to meet with them prior to today?
Legal told us not to.
Oh,
To wait until this meeting.
Perfect. So move.
Second.
Motion has been made and second to approve the contract with the construction manager at risk for the Ag Farm project. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against, motion carries. Thank you.
Hey, thank you guys for all your work. Appreciate you. Yep.
Item B, discussion and action to approve change order number 1 for JRG's RCR Pavilion AC Improvements Project. Mr. Salinas.
Good evening, Mr.
Good evening,
President,
sir.
members of the board, Mr. Cavazos. I come before you seeking approval of change order number 1 for the HVAC improvement for the RCR Elementary and JRG Early Childhood Pavilions. Change order number 1 entails horizontal boring for electrical service with AEP, excavation, trench, and also includes a seal of roof leaks and painting and protective coatings on corroded metal beams on both pavilions. Change order amount is of $31,131.78, increasing original contract amount from $164,800 to $195,931.78, being 15.89% above the original contract amount. We're recommending approval for change order number 1 with installation.
Okay. Real quick, if I could just add, the committee got together just to give you all a real quick update on this. To my understanding and to our understanding, this will be the final change order, correct?
That's correct.
All right.
Is this the one where we're gonna do the conduit, all that in-house?
We're going to do some work in-house to bring down the cost. Yes, sir. Okay. All right.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve as recommended.
Okay, motion is made and second to approve the change order as presented by Mr. Salinas. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against, motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item C, discussion and possible action on selection of contractor for the parking lot improvements project at Ruan Junior High.
Yes, sir. Mr. President, members of the board, come before you again seeking authorization to award bid for the Carlos Ruan High School parking lot improvement project. Edcouch Independent School District has accepted and reviewed 8 proposals for this project. The evaluation committee recommends awarding to D&J Site Construction LLC, who was the selected and most responsive and qualified contractor based on the evaluation criteria during the facilities meeting held April 24, 2018. The estimated cost for this project due to the selection process is $300,860. Again, the evaluation committee would like to recommend the award to D&J Site Construction LLC.
Mr. Salinas, the drainage there was addressed?
Yeah, well, on the drainage, we have drainage improvements on the project as well. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So move.
Motion has been made and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against, motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Mr. Sayers, real quick, did we get the footage of the drone footage of the afternoon?
Yes, we met on the previous facilities committee. Yes, we did met and we saw stacking on Mount San Antonio. Yes.
All right, sounds good.
I have a plan there for y'all to review.
Okay, great.
Okay, next item D, discussion and possible action to approve the final payment application to Econ regarding the new technology Technology Building Project. Sylvia, Mr. Garza, or Mr. Lopez?
Mr. President, we had asked Mr. Joe Lopez to be here at the meeting. I did not receive a text from him. My understanding was that he was going to be here, but we do have one last final payment.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Econ has submitted a final payment of $85,468.95. They have completed the project and they're requesting your approval for payment.
So moved.
Okay.
That's the final invoice?
Okay, motion has been made and second to make the final payment. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against, motion carries. Thank you. Item E, discussion and possible action to approve a contract between EEISD and Region 1 for the sub-hub.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against, motion carries. Item F, discussion and action to select engineer to be added to the district's rotation.
Mr. President, I'd like to add Alpha Engineering to the rotation.
So moved.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and second to add Alpha Engineering to the rotation. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against, motion carries. Item G, discussion and action to accept the annexation request from City of Edcouch.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and second to approve the request by City of Edcouch for annexation. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. A good presentation.
The best presentation ever right there.
It could hurt you. It could hurt you.
Best presentation I've ever made, saying nothing.
It ain't gonna get it.
Thank you.
Y'all made it very easy for me and Ed.
We got our beer from
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can't make it better.
Can't get any easier than that.
Next item, item 9, executive session. Superintendent requests that the Board of Trustees convene a closed meeting as authorized with provisions of the Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. The section, executive session is in accordance with the Texas Government Code Section A551074.
Executive.
So moved.
Second.
There a motion, second, all in favor signifies by saying aye.
Aye.
All against, we're in executive session. It's 8:25.
Okay, that's personnel. Just fucking with you.
We're back to open session, item 10. A, discussion and possible action regarding personnel considering appointment, employment, resignation, retirement, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee. Item 1, discussion and action regarding approval of teacher contracts and other non-administrative professional contracts, probationary term continuing for 2018-2019. Mr. Cavazos.
Yes, sir. Mr. President, I'd like to recommend that the board approve the recommendations as provided during the executive session.
Slow move. Second.
Motion is made in second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion carries. Item 2, discussion and action regarding approval of superintendent's recommendation to propose the non-renewals of Chapter 21 term contract employees. Mr.
Mr.
Cavazos.
President, I recommend that we approve the recommendations as presented in the executive session.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Slow move. Second.
Motion is made in second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion carries. Item 3, discussion and action regarding approval on superintendent's recommendations to terminate Chapter 21 probationary contracts.
Yes, Mr. President, recommend that you approve the recommendations as made during the executive session to the board.
Okay. There a motion? Okay. There a second? Second. Motion has been made in second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion carries. Item 4, discussion and action regarding approval of administrative professional contracts. Mr. Cavazos.
Yes, once again, would like the board to approve the recommendations as presented to the board in the executive session.
Slow move. Second.
Motion has been made in second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion carries. Item 5, discussion and action regarding approval of summer school and curriculum writing staff employment. Mr. Cavazos.
Yes, Mr. President, again, I'd like to request the board that they approve the recommendations as presented in the executive session.
Okay.
Slow move. Second.
Motion is made in second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion carries. Item 6, discussion and action regarding high school principal position.
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to recommend that we hire permanently Mr. Jorge Gutierrez as the high school principal.
All right.
Second.
Or second? Motion is made in second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Just for the record, I abstain.
Okay.
Ms. Item?
Mr. Torres will abstain. Motion carries. Mr. Gutierrez, congratulations. I know you've been doing that work for a while now, so thank you. Item B, A, discussion action regarding consultation with legal counsel regarding A, pending or contemplated litigation, B, settlement offer, C, a matter in which the duty of an attorney to Edcouch-Elsa Independent School District under Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 501 of the Texas Government Code 50107-1.
We have no recommendations regarding any actions on any of these items.
Okay, thank you. Item 11, action, if any, under executive session. There's none? Okay, next item, 12, is adjournment.
Slow move. Second.
Motion is made, second to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against, motion carries. Thank you. Good evening.
You've got somebody that's going to replace it.